Now, today, January 31, is the deadline given by the Trades Union Congress for the government to withdraw the value-added tax on electricity consumption. Organised labour has warned members would advise themselves if the government failed to heed their demand by today. But the Ministry of Finance on January 30, that's yesterday, issued a statement to calm organised labour, assuring of renegotiation. Let me bring you excerpts of that statement. It says extensive dialogue will be held with organised labour and other key stakeholders in the coming weeks to ensure stakeholder buy-in. The ministry therefore appeals to organised labour and all stakeholders, including ECG and NEDCO, to exercise restraint to facilitate a constructive dialogue towards a quick resolution. The TUC has been engaging the media in Kumasi, and my colleague Ibrahim Abubakar is there for us. He joins us live on the line. Ibrahim. Okay, so we'll connect to Ibrahim very shortly, who will be reporting live from the Ashanti region. But Daniel Poku is our labour correspondent, and he's got some details on the labour issues for us. He joins us live as well. Daniel, how many members are likely to withdraw their services if the strike is carried out from today?
Right. Yeah, good afternoon to you, Beatrice. Now, we are talking about 700,000 public sector workers, and these public sector workers have there are various branches at the private sector institutions. So, for instance, if you have, and let's not forget that the industrial and commercial workers in the ICU, which controls a lot of workers in the private sector, have also indicated a decision to join the strike. So now we are talking about an excess of 700 to 800,000 workers across the country will be hitting the streets in case government fails to engage organized labor on the demands that they have placed before them for them to call off or scrap the 15% VAT. That's the current number. We're looking at the excess of that. That's really going to affect the industrial climate and also the economy.
Affects the industrial climate and the economy, you say. Can you paint a picture for us of the dire impact of this strike should members decide to go on it?
Right. So, for instance, let's look at those who are clearly at the forefront of government business, those who work within the ministry, that's the civil service. You look at an excess of 6,000 to 10,000 of them. Then you also look at Ghana registered nurses and midwives, the nurses and the midwives. You also look at an excess of 10,000 to 19,000. You have the PSWU, Public Service Workers Union, who are also close to about 20 to 30,000. You have the Health Service Workers Union, who are also in excess of 10 to 20,000. Then also look at those within the other sectors of the economy. And when we look at the figures are very huge in terms of the number of people who will be joining this ongoing strike. Now, within the private sector, where you have the industrial and commercial workers, whose members are in excess of 20 to 30,000, if all of them to congregate and decide to withdraw their services, clearly the whole economy is going to be affected, and clearly the whole economy is going to shut down. Now, when we look at within the education sector, we have the teachers, and we have in excess of 300,000 of them. And all these people should withdraw their services. Clearly, you can see the picture is going to be very huge, and the impact is going to affect healthcare. Education is going to be affected already. You have the senior staff who are on strike. So also is also on strike. All these people are on strike, and when they come together, clearly organized labor have a lot of force, and that will going to really affect the government.
Indeed, Daniel. And yesterday, like I said, the finance ministry tried to have a last-minute calming of tempers, as it were, with that statement that it issued. But generally, what would you say has been the position of the government in trying to avoid this impending catastrophe, should I put it?
Right. So last week after the press conference, organized labor had wanted government to engage them from last week Thursday and even Monday to this week and Tuesday. But unfortunately, the statement came out yesterday. And my checks indicate that they will be having the meeting tomorrow because most of the labor union leaders are outside Accra as we currently. We have the leadership of the TUC who are currently in Kumasi. We also have the leadership of NAS who are also in Bongahaf and other parts of the country. Now, hopefully tomorrow they'll be having the meeting for them to be able to trash out some of these issues. Let's not forget that the Ministry of Finance had initially written to ECG and NEDCO for them to start the process to begin the implementation of the 15%. But the indication we picked was that ECG was saying that they don't fall under the Ministry of Finance, they fall under Sector Ministry of Energy. So I did what expected the Minister of Finance to have issued a statement to them. So these are the back and forth issues, and hopefully by close of day tomorrow, we should be able to reach an amicable solution and also make some compromise, what they call trade-off in industrial relations. There will be some trade-off. Labour will trade something off. Government also will table something. But I don't foresee government trying to go through with this 15% rate, because Labour has indicated in position and has taken an interim position that no 15%, government should stop that, because it's purely the decision of the IMF, which organized Labour does not like the dictates of the IMF.
You just answered my next question there, but thank you very much, Daniel Poku. He's our Labour correspondent.